Yes, yes, absolutely. I totally agree with all of that because I actually have gone through the same exact example where like I will wake up and I'll think like I don't feel like getting up like to go to the gym or anything like that. And then like I will like I'll think I'm gonna get up here in a couple minutes and then all of a sudden I'll look, it's like 40 minutes later. And I was like, oh no, like so then I end up telling myself like, well, I guess I'm not going to go to the gym today. So and then like you said, then you end up making up for it later in the week and stuff like that. But I feel like yeah, like self-respect for me, like I said, or well, before I tell about my experience, yeah, like I said, it's definitely important to work on yourself and to respect yourself because that is definitely important. But for me, it is easier said than done because, like, especially here in the last year or so, I feel like I've gained a good bit of weight from. I mean, I know a lot of people have like looked at me and thought like, "Oh, you're fine, like you're just fine." But here a couple years ago, I decided like at the beginning of 2020. This was pre-COVID in January. I decided I was going to try to lose some weight. I was like the biggest I ever was at like 230 pounds, and I told myself that I was going to get down to like 200. So so like within 3 months, or no, not 3 months, 5 months, I did get down 25 pounds. And I was thinking, okay, like this is great. Like all I did mainly was like lessen a little bit of what I was eating and then doing a whole lot of like getting on the treadmill and running a good bit of the time. And here this year, like in the last year or so, I started slacking and like I ended up gaining 20 of it back. So I was, started like kind of getting in my own head, just like sometimes I don't like looking in the mirror, like thinking like, man, like 2 years ago, you like even 2 years ago, like I felt like I was even down on myself. Like it seemed like I can never. I never feel like I could win in a way. Like I feel like I'm always thinking I could do better, I could lose more weight. And then like even when I make that goal, then I think like it's still not good enough. Like I still don't feel right. So it's definitely for me a struggle because like I say sometimes I'll look in the mirror, especially like some recent times, and I'll think like who is this like in the mirror? Like you've gotten so big. So yeah, it's like self-respect for me is definitely a challenge, but I am trying to go to the gym again. I've gotten on the treadmill, and I guess like one big reason why self-respect, especially recent few days, have been like a hard thing for me is because I've been going to the gym for a couple months now, and I haven't lost a pound. And I guess maybe like my body may be used to the treadmill, maybe is kind of adjusted to that kind of exercise. Maybe I need to try different exercise like equipment or different workouts. And also, people have told me that like, definitely the way I eat, is definitely a big effect. You want to eat right and or eat, things that have lower, of course, carbs, calories, all that good stuff. So you want to eat more greens and vegetables and all that. So it's definitely a mixture of it all, but yeah, self-respect. I wish I definitely want to improve on that. That's definitely a big goal that like I would love to achieve, here sooner rather than later.
Sure, what you mentioned is actually very powerful because, each and every time when we are in the pursuit or passionate pursuit of a goal and worthwhile dream, we're going to go through a lot of values, a lot of valleys, not values. Yeah, and you're going to really experience a lot of tough situations along the way. And maybe in some days you may win, some days will be very, very tough. And I think when we show up on those days that are very, very tough, I think we win our respect at a higher level because we came out, we showed up, we followed through despite not feeling, wanting to follow through at that period of time. And, I think, at the end of the day, I never really cared about where someone came from the one thing that I usually look for is the will and the passion for people to bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to go. I always think slow motion is better than no motion. Getting 1% better every single day. I know we had a conversation about that. Amazing book called Atomic Habits. Thing is, it's important that you're not going to rise to the occasion. You will not rise to the occasion. You'll fall to your level of training. You fall to your level of discipline. And when we can build the right structure and foundation of habits, we equip ourselves with the identity that we can accomplish the things that we're after, because we have created the identity of building that habit structure and therefore creating a pathway to actually achieve our goals. So we're going to go through a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of ups. There's going to be a lot of downs. There's going to be a lot of failures. Do you have the courage to continue? Do you have the courage to understand that you should focus more on your current trajectory rather than your current results? At the end of the day, it's important that, regardless of where we're at, that we take ownership of this entire process. And hey, it's a wild journey. It takes a lot. The thing is, no successful people ever asked how long it took. No successful people ever asked how long it took. Keep it steady. Keep believing. Keep on going, because you know that with consistent and persistent effort, you're going to actually achieve the goals that you're after. So that's just a story, for those out there who maybe are in a passionate pursuit, but have kind of fallen off the wagon. Hey, draw the line in the stand today, go back and start. The thing is, it's not about the time, because it's about who we become as a person. We grow from the inside, and all of it comes out. Wherever you are in your journey, in your passionate pursuit, get back on the wagon, continue forward, believe in yourself, build the right habits, and you'll accomplish your goals.
Yes, I love that, Liza. I definitely needed to hear that tonight. So thank you for sharing that with me. And definitely, I'm sure the viewers will, whoever's watching this, I may be going through like a, weight loss journey or any kind of goal that they're trying to achieve, but may not believe in themselves. That is definitely going to be some good insight to hear for sure, because it starts with respecting yourself and believing in yourself and knowing that you are going to reach that goal, and nothing is going to happen overnight. And like you said, nobody's ever asked how long is it going to take, because some people it happens quicker than others. Unless some people reach their end goal, like even like for example, I just saw like recently like some 70-year-old woman like graduated college. It's like there's no time limit on reaching your goals. And so it's definitely something I need to keep reminding myself, because I think too often I think of like, oh, like if I can't lose a pound now, like I'm never going to lose a pound. And listen, it becomes like it's almost like you're already like like throwing in the towel, like quitting already. And that's definitely something that I do not want to do, because I do know that I can do it, I can make it, and I do want to reach my goal. And I just have to take one day at a time. I don't need to be thinking like, oh, like the 25, 30 pounds that I want to lose. Like I just need to think of like that 1 pound. Let's start with one and then work my way from there. Or or even like as far as going, like how often I go to the gym or the foods that I eat, try to start incorporating things slowly. I can't just stop cold turkey, like
Sure.
eating certain foods. Or let's definitely drink more water, so stuff like that. So it just all starts with respecting and believing in yourself. So
Sure.
I definitely appreciate that.
Sure. Absolutely. And thank you for sharing. And, there is actually one thing that just came to mind. I think that's going to be very important, especially kind of for the viewers out here. You know, any type of success in any type of arena is going to be a challenge. There's going to be a lot that goes into it. And every progressive step you take is going to earn yourself respect. But here's something I learned out of this amazing book. It's called Pound the Stone by Joshua Metcalf. And one of the things I said is sometimes in our active pursuit of our goals, sometimes we'll take our past and use that to define our future. And here's what I mean. Let's say if, you know, you were, let's say you were introverted your whole life, and you didn't think that you could be extrovert. You didn't think that you could be a people person. You didn't think that you could speak into the hearts of people more than one. Let's say that may have been the past. Sometimes people will use that past. If I've never been able to do it, then I'll never in my life be able to actually be the person that talkative, being the person who's interactive, being the person who I think is, or being the person who is more so extrovert. Sometimes, as I mentioned before, taking the past, applied to the future, is a very devastating type of mentality. And understanding that your past, regardless of kind of where you went through, whether it be relationship issues, whether it be, you know, fitness, whether it be maybe you fell in a couple endeavors that really tugged on the heartstrings of your mind, of your mentality, regardless of what happened in the past, it's important to understand that that doesn't need to define your present, nor does that need to define your future. You can draw a line in the sand. You can start from scratch. And as you know, Joel mentioned before, you know, the thing is, it doesn't have to, you don't have to focus on how much time it takes, but having the will and courage to continue to make each progressive step towards it is what counts. Because what that does is that develops your character, that develops your leadership, that develops your persistence in becoming the person that God has created you to be. And when you do that and understand that your past doesn't need to define your present, because you've already won the battle, you begin to win your self-respect. You believe that you are capable of doing the things that you know you need to do to be able to get a head step in life, to be able to accomplish the goal, to be able to interact with people at a higher level, to be able to get outside your comfort zone, to be able to build the business that you're after, to be able to get a promotion, be able to get hired. Sky's the limit. Understanding that your past doesn't need to define your future. Believe in yourself, and all that